I ran out. I knew it was really bad. My boy over there, I could see it was. I could see his brain almost. And I ran over to Maggie. Actually, I think I tried to turn Paul over first. You know, I tried to turn him over, and I don't know, I figured it out. His cell phone popped out of his pocket. I started to try to do something with it, thinking maybe, but then I put it back down really quickly. Then I went to my wife, and I could see.
Did you touch Maggie at all?
I did. I touched them both. Okay. I tried to do it as limited as possible, but I tried to take their pulse on both of them. And, you know, I called 911 pretty much right away, and she was very good. I talked to her. I told her I was going to get off the phone to call some family members. I did that.
What family members did you call?
I called my brother Randy, and I called my brother John. And I tried to call a little boy, a real good friend that's right around the corner from here, but I didn't get him.
What all was around Paul when he walked up?
Blood.
Anything else?
I mean, there was some body thing, yes sir.
I mean, like any other evidence? I know you said the phone fell out of the pocket. But did you see anything else that didn't belong or shouldn't belong or that wasn't part of Paul?
No, sir. No, sir.
How about Maggie?
No, sir.
You didn't see anything around them? What made you come out here at night?
I went to. My mom's a late-stage Alzheimer's patient. My dad's in the hospital. My mom gets anxious, and she does. I went to check on them, and Maggie's a dog lover, and she fools with the dogs. And I knew she'd gone to the kennel. I was at the house. I left the house and went to my mom's for just a little while. Tried to call her when I left. Texted her, no response. When I got back to the house was obviously nobody was in there, so I figured they're still up here fooling around. Paul's gonna be getting set up to plant. Our sunflower seeds got sprayed and died, and he was refiguring to plant the sunflower seeds. So I came back up here and drove up and saw and called.
Had Maggie and Paul been arguing over anything?
No.
What was their relationship like?
Wonderful.
Wonderful. How about yours and Maggie's?
Wonderful. I mean, I'm sure we had little things here and there, but we had a wonderful marriage, wonderful relationship.
And yours and Paul's relationship?
As good as it could be.
How was Paul?
22.
You know his date of birth?
I do. April 11th, 96 is his brother's. April 14th, 99 is Paul's.
What's Maggie's full name?
Margaret Brandstetter Murdaugh.
Her date of birth, sir?
September 15th, 1968.
Have y'all been having any problems out here? Trespassers,
None
people breaking in?
None that I know of. The only thing what comes to my mind is my son Paul was in a boat wreck a couple years ago, and there's been he was charged with being arrested for being the driver. There's been a lot of negative publicity about that, and there's been a lot of people online just really vile stuff. But when Paul's out and about, people routinely, I don't think I know the full story, so I don't think they give it to me, but he's been punched and hit and just attacked a lot, so, but nothing like this.
Yeah. Any one person in particular or a group of people
I don't know.
that you could think of?
It's not that I know, no, sir.
Has he, other than being assaulted, has he received any direct threats related to the boat accident?
Oh, yes. All the time.
Recently?
Yes, sir. He gets them all the time.
Okay.
He gets them all the time.
What kind of,
I'm gonna kick your ass, I've never been privy firsthand,
Is that through social media? Or?
No, ma'am. It's mostly like if he goes out places is what goes out like somewhere. He's in college, so if he goes out, is what I understand. I can find out better details from some of his younger friends on that.
Who's his best friend?
His best friend in Columbia is Will's Chapman, Will Loving, Bobby Boyle. Bobby Boyle, Will Chapman, and Paul were getting ready to move into a house together in Columbia.
You said Will Chapman and Will Loving?
Will's with an S, Chapman, and Will with an L, Loving. Okay. Around here, his best friends are clearly Nolan Tootin and Roden Gibson.
Nolan Tootin?
Yes, sir.
And what was the other one, I'm sorry?
Roden Gibson.
Have you talked with any of these guys tonight?
Talked with Nolan, yes, sir.
Is he out here?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I tried to call Roden. Was one of the people he's the boy that I told you lives around the corner.
Okay.
That's very, he's just a good, healthy young man. You mind if I open the door real quick?
Go ahead. Do what you need to do. So is there anybody that you can think of that we need to talk to tonight? Is there a name that comes to mind?
I can't tell you anybody that I'm overly suspicious of off the top of my head. This is such a stupid thing. I'm even embarrassed to say it. But it just didn't make any sense. I just hired a guy out here, and he wasn't cutting the mustard, but I hadn't told him this yet. Paul's been working with him a lot. He killed the sunflower seeds in our dove field just recently, which is why Paul was here doing this. He told Paul a story the other day about how when he was in high school, he got in a fight with some black guys. And the FBI undercover team observed him fighting those guys and put him on an undercover team with 3 Navy SEALs. And that their job was to kill radical Black Panthers. And they did that from Myrtle Beach to Savannah. Now, I really don't think this guy, is probably the person, but that's just so freaking.
Yeah, that's kind of a far-fetched
It's
story.
weird, but he was off today.
Okay.
He took his daddy to the doctor.
What's his name?
C.B. Rudd.
R-O-W-E?
Yeah, and I sent him a message to text me earlier today about the sunflowers, and he called me back when I was on the way to my mom's house.
Did you talk to him at that time?
Briefly, I was on the phone with a lawyer friend of mine named Chris Wilson from Bamberg, so I told him I'd call him back tomorrow, see him in the morning.
When you briefly talked to Mr. Rowe, what was his demeanor or attitude? Or
I mean, it seemed normal. I mean, I asked him about the sunflowers and stuff. I'm sure he's a little bit.
where does he live?
I don't exactly know. Somewhere in Bronson.
Okay. Do you have his phone number?
I do.
You got it with you, Lisa?
I do. But I do think him and Paul got along pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
That's just really, really weird. All right. CD.
Right there. You glad?
Yeah, I know he called me, so I'll do that.
Okay. 843-540-9335.
You can do that phone on the charge.
Is that an iPhone?
Yes, sir.
Watch your life for cities.
Thank you.
When did you tell that story to Paul?
Sometime last week.
Okay.
Sometime last week. My son Paul actually, I really do not think, in all honesty, that it's him, but I know y'all got to check it out. But Paul is so taken aback by it that he sent, I'll find it, I got it on my phone. He recorded him saying bits and pieces of it.
Okay.
But for all this weirdness, I do think they they got along pretty good.
How long have you been working here?
That's about 3 or 4 pay periods, so 8 weeks, a couple months.
Going back to the boat incident, anybody on that boat really have a hard-on for Paul that you would think would come after him, or know of any direct threats from people on the boat?
I don't know of any direct threats between any of the people on the boat
Okay.
specifically, but I do think there's been a small amount of yip-yap between a couple of them, but not recently.
Okay.
And most of this was stuff from people that Paul didn't really know.
Okay.
There was some people that he knew distantly, but more times than not, when I learned about it, it was somebody that he didn't know.
Okay.
It's like, for example, he went out in Charleston a couple months ago, came back, he got a black eye. And, he can't defend himself right now because he's charged, so, he would, Paul was a real tough man's man.
Mm-hmm.
He would just,
He would defend himself, but he hadn't been.
that's right. But
How was he handling that case? Everybody.
as far as what?
How was he handling it?
I've never been prouder of him than the way he has handled the pressures and the adversity in that situation. I think I've told Danny that before. I mean, Paul is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful kid. He can do almost anything. He gets along with almost anybody.
Do y'all store any weapons out here?
We don't store them, but they're frequently out here.
Mm-hmm.
I need to find out if there were any out here because I know there was a shotgun. There was a 12-gauge shotgun out here. I'll have to find out exactly when that was. I think it got put up, but I'm not positive.
What did that shotgun look like?
It was camouflage. I want to say it was a Benelli or maybe a Beretta. I can't remember which brand it is. But I don't think it was out here
Okay.
recently. But I'm not positive.
And the shotgun that you had when the deputies pulled up, where did that gun come from?
I went to the house and I got a gun. Probably overreacting, but
And was that when you pulled up and saw them?
no, I mean, I came out and, I called 911 first.
Mm-hmm.
Talked to them for a little while, and then I told her
Told her.
that I was going to go to the house.
Okay.
And that I would let authorities know when they got here that I had a gun.
Okay. Do you happen to have a list of all your guns?
I can make one. I don't have one, but I can make one.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, so we can compare if that shotgun was out here, now it's missing.
Absolutely.
Try to figure that out.
No, absolutely.
And I know living up here in the country, you probably have more than one or two.
We do. We probably have 20, 25 guns,
Yeah. Shotguns, rifles.
pistols.
Any rifles?
Yes, sir.
What kind of rifles?
All kinds.
Yeah.
All kinds. I mean, you name it across the board, we have them.
Okay.
I mean, all of them we have are, in a hunting room in our house.
What was their schedule today? When did they get home?
My son works for my brother, and he was coming home to deal with the sunflowers. He got here. He got here pretty early because he and I rode around looking at everything for a good little while, probably 45 minutes to an hour. Maggie had things she did in Charleston, and she had a doctor's appointment in Charleston, and she got back here. It was fairly late.
Was it dark yet when Paul got home?
No, Paul got home early.
Early, okay. So before dinner time?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
lunchtime or?
No, ma'am.
What brother does Paul work for?
John Morgan,
And what does Paul do for him?
everything.
Handyman,
Yes, sir.
Was it unusual for Maggie to feed the dogs this time of night or check on them?
Oh, no. I mean, she played with those dogs all the time. And it's especially common for her to, she's been gone for a while, to come and let especially two of them out to run.
So she pretty regularly comes out here in the evenings.
Very regular. Comes out here a lot.
Do you have any cameras on the property?
I have deer cameras, but none, around up here
Where are they at?
on different deer stands.
Okay, so deep in the woods.
Well, not necessarily deep in the woods. Some of them are in fields, and
Okay.
but there's none that are near here.
Okay.
What doctor appointment? What doctor did Maggie see today?
I forget the guy's name. Maggie's been having trouble with her. She's been having trouble with her stomach and her tooth. I'm not positive. It was sort of a routine visit, and I can't remember. She told me the name of it, and I can't. I want to say Gordine.
6 o'clock, 7 o'clock?
I don't think she got back quite that early. I think she got back a little bit later than that.
Okay. What did you do today? Were you at the office or?
No, I was home. I came home. Paul and I messed around. I was up at the house. Laid down, took a nap on the couch, probably, 25, 30 minutes. I got up, I called Maggie, didn't get an answer, and I left to go to my mom's. She had said she might ride with me, but she normally doesn't when I go over there. And I think I texted her. And she's very good about answering the phone, so that was odd, or calling me back. So that was odd, but it wasn't that big a deal.
And what time was that?
What time was what?
That you sent her a text message?
I texted her at 9:08, going to check on him, be right back. And then I texted her at 9:47, that must be when I started to come back. I think I called her before that. But let me make sure. Pretty sure that I called her 9:45. And then I tried Paul. And then, no, I think that was riding. I think that might have been riding over there. Three. I mean, my calls are right here.
Yeah.
So, obviously this is when I, at 10:06,
sir. Anybody else want some gum?
You want the water to do that? I'm sorry, I don't need it.
If you, behind Danny's head is a case of water.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I got some right here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
I'm sure we're going to have much more questions.
I'm available to act. You know, you let me know.
What's another number in case I can't get you on your cell?
I don't have a house phone.
Okay.
My office number. I can give you my brother's cell phone.
All right. What's Randy's?
Say Randy's is 803-943-8881.
And John?
John Martin's 843-321-5508.
And you said your dad's in the hospital?
Yes, sir.
Which hospital? Charleston or?
Savannah County, St. Joseph's.
Is he doing okay or what's?
He's having a really, really hard time. He's got a lot going on. He's doing okay, given everything, but he's got a lot going on.
Now Maggie's family, where are they?
Somerville.
Have you been in touch with them?
Contacted. Yes, I had my brother call Bart, the wife of his sister, and the husband of Maggie's sister, so that they could go and tell Maggie's parents. I felt like they needed to hear it in person, and they were going there and calling me. So they must not be there yet.
Maggie's parents in Somerville?
Yes, and her mom just had a knee replacement surgery, and her dad really has trouble getting around nowadays.
Do you have any other children?
I do. I have a 24-year-old.
That's right, you said. What's his name?
Buster, Richard Alexander Jr.
He goes by Buster.
He goes by Buster.
Is he here tonight?
He's on his way.
Laura, you got anything?
This one's hard, but when you first saw Paul, you said you tried to flip him over. Was he laying on his back or on his stomach?
Just like he
Just like he is. You weren't able to move him. Okay.
No, man.
Okay. Did he help Maggie a lot out here with the animals?
He helped everybody with everything.
Okay. So it was kind of routine for him to be out here as well.
This place is his absolute passion.
Okay.
I tried to turn him, and then I checked him, and I think I already did, but I checked him.
And when you first pulled into the property, did you come from this direction where all our police cars are, or which way did you come
I
in?
went to the house,
Okay.
and then I came from the house
This way.
straight here. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I mean, where my vehicle was parked is probably,
This is where it was. Okay.
well, no, maybe not exactly, but it was pretty close, because I came back the same route
That's right, because you went back to get your shotgun.
when I came back.
can't think of anything else right now, but, you know, we'll certainly be in touch.
Thank y'all for everything y'all are doing.
So, you know, just to kind of let you know what's going to go on, we're going to be out here for quite some time. The coroner will take custody of Paul and Maggie.
Can I answer that? Yeah. What? No, we're finished. Let me come out there where I'll be here when he gets here. No, don't let him come up here. Okay, yeah. I think we're about done. All right, thank you. Sergeant.
Buster, in here.
Yes, sir.
I
I dropped my card. Thank you.
So the coroner will come over and talk to you. You know, there'll be the autopsy and everything, and then go from there. But we'll come to you before we leave.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Rutledge.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Here, you want Mr. Water?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Yep.
What time was that interview?
I think it was 1 a.m.
Would you dispute 1257?
No, that sounds correct.
Would you describe that as an aggressive interview?
No.
As a part of your investigating procedure, had you listened to the 911 tape prior to this?
We did.
And you say we, who's we?
Myself and Special Agent Owen.
Did you have, can everybody hear? Speak in the mic, please. Speak in the mic, please, ma'am. Did you have that 911 knowledge in your mind when you were listening to this? Had you
I
already
did.
heard it?
Yes.
And on the 911 tape, how long had Alex Murdaugh told the 911 operator it had been since he'd seen Maggie Murdaugh?
He's estimated 1.5 to 2 hours.
To 2 hours. 1.5 to 2 hours. And on this tape, your interview, what had he said about seeing Maggie? When was the last time he'd seen Maggie Murdaugh?
That she about 2 hours.
Did he say he took a nap?
He took a nap
Did he say where he went after that?
to check on his mother with Alzheimer's in Hampton.
Okay. Did you find that unusual?
I did.
Why?
Just the time of night.
Why?
With her being an Alzheimer's patient, they tend to be worse at night, so I seemed it was strange to go visit.
What time was the 911 call?
It was 10.
Just speak louder, please.
I'm sorry. I'd have to check my notes.
Put a check with it. I'm sorry.
Okay. It was 10. 10:06.
And this interview was 12:57?
Yes, that's correct.
In your interview, in Agent Owens' interview, did the defendant, Alex Murdaugh, tell you he tried to turn Paul over?
He did.
And did he say whether or not he had tried to check Paul's pulse and or Maggie's pulse?
He stated he tried to check both.
What did Mr. Murdaugh, the defendant, Alex Murdaugh, say about the phone, if anything, that was in Paul's possession?
He stated his phone popped out of his pocket
When
he tried to check his pulse.
did he try to turn him over?
That's what he said.
There's a scene in here where Alexander Murdaugh is looking at his phone. You remember that?
Correct, yes.
Okay. Can you actually see the phone in there and the times and the messages on the video that he's looking at?
You can on the bottom left of the screen.
And what was that in response to that he was looking at that?
When I asked what time, he texted Maggie.
So you saw those on his phone, looking at those when y'all were talking to him in the car?
I couldn't see from where I was sitting, but reviewing the video, I could see it.
Reviewing the video, did you see it?
Yes.
I've got a transcript here, but at the end of the video, toward the end of the interview, did Mr. Murdaugh say again he tried to turn over his son, Paul Murdaugh?
He did.
That he tried to check him?
That's what he said.
And I know I asked you at the first, but I may not have done it too eloquently. Did he first tell you he tried to turn him over?
Yes, he did.
And I figured it out?
Yes,
And his cell phone popped out of his pocket?
that's correct.
And everybody heard it, but then something with it thinking maybe then I put it back down really quickly, then I went, and you can't really understand the rest of it.
Yes.
What did you think about the phone popping out?
That would seem.
The objection sustained.
Have you ever moved dead weight?
I have.
If we could start the Elmo, please. Judge, these are a couple of these pictures that I think they have this on top of it, just to warn everybody, these are graphic photos. First is number 2.